rural landscape. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you all very much for your very compelling testimony. We will now have a round of 5-minute questions each. And Mr. Garrett, I'm going to start with you since you're from New Hampshire. And you and Dr. Haney did such a nice job of providing a commercial on my legislation, the Heroes Business Opportunity Act. I have to ask you about that. You talked a little bit about this in your testimony, but talk about why waiving the fees up front for 7A loans are really important for entrepreneurs just starting out.
When I started the company, it was a kind of a dream, and it was very much amounts to we're just going to make it happen. But at the same time, I had to have kids still in high school, and we had to consider the fact that, you know, there were going to be things to pay for down the road, like college, and we didn't know how that was going to work out. So when I had to pay for fees and things that I just didn't even know existed, I'll be honest, I didn't know until a couple of weeks ago when I did a little bit of research and found out I had actually paid those fees. You know, that's just more capital that went away. That fee was almost $3,000. And when you are already borrowing $250,000 on a hope or a dream, then that extra cost really made it you know, risky because, like I said, those are fees that are just being paid to someone. They're not paying for a piece of equipment or inventory that I can sell. And in my business, when I'm selling something that's $2, I'm keeping about 15 cents out of it. So it's really tough to make up that $3,000. That's a lot of things that have to be sold to make up that that profit difference there. So I think if they were waived, especially if you're a smaller company, and I'd like to focus on the fact that a lot of veterans-owned businesses are folks that are not retired. I had I say the luxury, you know, but I did do 25 years of military service, of being somebody who had a retirement to back up my personal expenses and use a little extra capital if necessary. But if you're coming out of 4 or 6 years, you don't have any income, and you're going to jump into a business. The last thing you need is to have another $3,000 bill or a $2,000 bill that doesn't go directly to getting that business off the ground. So,
thank you. We will use that endorsement as we're moving the legislation. Colonel Green, virtually everybody who's spoken has talked about the need to be aware of what resources are available if they're thinking about starting a business. You talked about the 196,000 people who had been through the Boots to Business program. Can you talk about what percentage of people that is who were eligible for the program, and how do we get the word out to more veterans about what's available to them?
Chair Shaheen, that's a great question. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So in our office, we want to make sure that all of our customers are aware and make informed decisions about entrepreneurship. So what we really try to do is make sure there's an awareness of programs available. And first of all, and then accessibility of those programs, whether it be virtual, in person, and then the ability to navigate those resources. And the resources we're talking about, we're part of a network, an ecosystem, I could say, which includes small business development centers, our veteran business outreach centers, women business centers, and SCORE chapters. That's just part of the SBA connected ecosystem. We also have organizations like the Institute for Veteran and Military Families that actually helped us develop the Boots to Business curriculum back in 2013. Now, the Boots to Business program for active duty is pretty well laid out in the Department of Defense Transition Assistance Program. They're very aware of it as they go through. You know, it's an optional 2-day course, but they're supposed to be providing them opportunity to take that. The Reboot program where we teach in the communities, that's where we really need the help of SBDCs, because we only have 28 VBOCs, so we need help of our resource partners to get the word out of those opportunities of taking that Boots to Business Reboot. And then the military spouses, that Pathway to Business program I mentioned, that is a program that was rewritten to focus. Military spouses weren't really feeling like Boots to Business was for them, the naming convention, the graphics. So we redesigned that course to make it feel more military spouse-centric. And then we just started teaching those classes in August, and now we've probably have 10 or 12 classes so far with a few hundred military spouse signing up. So we're looking, it's a slow rollout, but we're reaching out for every opportunity to get the word out.
Thank you. I know the timer says I have more time, but I think I got